What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting into my February 10th Bracketology Predictions, so let's get right into it. Starting out with the bracket watch here is top overall seeds, staying with Purdue there. First team out, we have Memphis, and then the last team in Texas A&M, as we mentioned, Purdue getting the win over Iowa last night to get their, redeem themselves from a loss to Indiana on Saturday. And then also Texas A&M right here just got a big win over Auburn. They take Memphis's spot. It's been Memphis as the last team in for a while, and Texas A&M is the first team out. But now it's Texas A&M playing really good basketball in the SEC. All right, but let's look at the bubble here. Last for a byes, Nevada, who got a big win on the road against New Mexico, a buzzer beater shot. What a win for Nevada there. Then we got USC, Oklahoma State, and Boise State. The last for him, we got New Mexico, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Texas A&M. First route, we got Memphis, Wisconsin getting a big win against Penn State. We have Oregon and Seton Hall. And then the next route, we got Utah State, Charleston, Wake Forest, who actually beat North Carolina pretty bad. Really bad loss for the Tar Heels there. And then Florida right there. All right, let's look at the full-on bracket now. Starting out with the first four here, North Carolina falls to an 11 seed, as well as Texas A&M, as I mentioned, new to the field at 11. We have New Mexico falling to an 11 seed, as well as Kentucky falling there. In the South region, though, Purdue as the number 1 seed. We have Auburn, as I said, losing to Texas A&M, going to be falling to a 9 seed. TCU kind of struggling right now. I'm not sure who they lost to. I want to say it was Kansas State this weekend. This past week, but I'm not sure. Southern Mississippi going to be new to the field at a 13 seed. Then we have Creighton going to be jumping up to a 6 seed. Nevada jumping up to a 10 seed, and Eastern Washington falling to a 15. In the Midwest region here, we got Alabama's the number 1 seed. Northwest are going to be jumping up to a 9 seed. We have Drake falling to a 13 seed. Rutgers going to be dropping down to a 6 seed, and Duke dropping down to a 7 seed, as well as Missouri falling to a 10 seed. Duke lost bad against, not sure, honestly, who it was. I would have to think about it, but I'm not sure who Duke lost to. Just had a bad loss, though. I know that. In the East region, though, we have Houston as the 1 seed there. Arkansas going to be jumping up to an 8 seed. We got West Virginia also jumping up to a 9. We have Miami going to be jumping up to 5. Maybe it was Miami that beat Duke. I'm not sure, though. Kent State going to be due to the field at a 12 seed. And then we have UConn, who just beat Marquette badly in their big one. That was big for UConn. They've been struggling lately. That was a big win for them. And then we have Furman falling to it, a 14 seed. Providence going to be dropping down to a 7 seed, as well as Oklahoma State going to be near to the field. Jumping up to a 10 seed. All right, in the West region here, we have got Arizona as the number 1 seed. Michigan State going to be jumping up to an 8 seed. Marquette, as I mentioned, losing to UConn, going to be dropping down to a 4 seed. We have Kansas State jumping up to a 3 seed. I do believe they beat TCU, and then Colgate can be jumping up to a 14. All right, but let's look at the full-on bracket now. And starting out with, let's go to the first 4 games here. North Carolina versus Texas A&M. I do think that Texas A&M right now is playing better basketball than North Carolina. I'm going with Texas A&M. And then FDU, I think, could beat Alcorn State. Kentucky gets New Mexico. New Mexico's a good team, but I think that Kentucky has the talent to get that win. And then Morehead State, I think, could be UMES. All right, let's look at the full on bracket now. Starting out for a spot in the round of 32, Purdue, I do think it'd be Fairline Dickinson, I believe that is what they are for FDU. Pittsburgh gets Auburn. I'm going to go with the slight 9/8 upset here with Auburn. I'm going to go with an upset here, pick here. Let's go with Liberty to pull off the win. Liberty's a good 12 seed, good program there, and TCU's just kind of been inconsistent right now, kind of struggling lately. So why not go with some fun there, pull off an upset with Liberty. And then I do think that Xavier will be able to beat Southern Mississippi, though. And then Creighton, I think, can hold off Clemson. Iowa State, I think, can beat UC. Oh, no. Not UC Santa Barbara pulling off that crazy upset. I'm going with Iowa State. And then really good 7 versus 10 matchup here. I like both these teams a lot. I'm going to be honest, though. I kind of slightly like Nevada a little bit more right now. So I'm going to go with the 10 over 7 upset, but I really do like Maryland and Nevada's programs. Wish they could have played different teams there. But then UCLA, I do think it'd be Eastern Washington. All right, and then Arizona, I think this is Texas A&M Christian, something like that. I'm going with Arizona. Michigan State against Florida Atlantic. Good matchup there, but I do think Michigan State is a better team there. I think that they can win. St. Mary's did just lose to LMU, but I'm going to pick them to beat VCU as well as Marquette beating Utah Valley. Illinois, I think, can pull off the win over. Never mind. Let's go with an upset pick here. Illinois is a good 6 seed, but Texas A&M coming off the first 4 game, finally in this bracket, playing really good basketball right now. I'm going to go with Texas A&M here, pulling up the upset. We all know that a first 4 team usually wins in the tournament. At least one team does, and I think that Texas A&M can be that team that does that. Illinois, no disrespect to them, they're a good team, but I think that Texas A&M can pull off the win. Then I have Kansas State beating Colgate. I'm going to go with the slight 10 over 7 upset here for USC to beat San Diego State, and then Texas beating UNC Asheville. Then let's go over here. We got Alabama beating Morehead State. Northwestern, I think, can pull off the slight 9 over 8 upset. Indiana, I think, could beat Oral Roberts. And I'm going to go with an upset pick here. We're going to go with the Bulldogs of Drake to beat Gonzaga. I know Gonzaga's a good team, but there's a 13 seed that usually wins. Drake's, I think, is a good 13 seed. I think that they should probably be a 12 seed there. Good team. I don't really trust Gonzaga too much either. Kind of one of my teams that I'm iffy on right now, and I think that Drake is a good upset candidate there. So let's go with the Bulldogs. Rutgers, I do think it beat Boise State, though, as well as Virginia beating Princeton. I'm going to go with the slight 10. Yeah, let's go with the 10 over 7 upset here. Missouri beating Duke. I just don't trust Duke that much right now, and Missouri's a good team. And then Kansas, I think, could beat Youngstown State. All right, let's go over here. We got Houston beating Rider. Arkansas, I think it hold or no, let's do it. Let's go with the 9, another 9 slight upset here. I like West Virginia a little bit more than I do Arkansas, so I'm going to go with the upset. Miami, I do think it beat Kent State. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to go with... never mind. Okay, I can't do it. I'm going to go with UConn there. Not a big fan of UConn, but I'll admit they've looked good against Marquette. I got to give them some credit there. I think that they could beat Hofstra. Iowa, I do think it hold off Kentucky, as well as Baylor beating Furman. And then Providence, I think it beat Oklahoma State. And then Tennessee, I think it beat Vermont. All right, so let's go to here. We got a spot for the Sweet 16 here. Purdue against Auburn. I do think Purdue is the team to win that game. Xavier against Liberty. I think that Xavier will be able to win that game. And then I'm going to go with an upset pick here. Let's go with Creighton to beat Iowa State. Iowa State's just been a little bit inconsistent lately, and Creighton's a really good 6 seed. I've been doing a lot of these 6 over 3 upsets here because I've seen the possibilities of these happening. I think that Creighton is a team that could definitely pull off that upset. So I'm going to go with the Blue Jays there. And then I'm going to go with a huge upset. Let's go with Nevada pulling off the win against UCLA. I think that UCLA is at risk of getting upset, and Nevada really playing good basketball right now. I'm going with Nevada to win that one. It's tough, though, between... I think that Maryland could beat Nevada. I think that if Maryland was in that game, they could go to the Sweet 16. But I think that Nevada wins Maryland and then beats UCLA to go to the Sweet 16. And then down here, I do think that Arizona will be able to hold off Michigan State. Despite the tough loss in overtime to LMU, I think that St. Mary's could beat Marquette. Now LMU, believe it or not, has beat Gonzaga and St. Mary's, the top 2 teams in the West Coast. Yeah, and then let's go with Kansas State pulling off the winner for Texas A&M. And then I do think that Texas can beat USC. All right, let's go over here, though. We got Alabama pulling off the win over Northwestern there. Indiana, I think, could beat Drake. And then Virginia, I do think could hold off Rutgers, as well as Kansas beating Missouri. All right, over here, though, we got Houston against West Virginia. I'm going to go with a huge... Ugh. Never mind, I can't do it. Houston's just too good of a 1 seed. They're playing good right now. My doubts on them kind of faded a little bit, but Miami, I do think, could beat Connecticut there. And then I did this upset last time with Iowa over Baylor. Yeah, I'm going to have to flip that. Believe it or not, Iowa went to the Final Four last time, basically in the same matchups there. I'm going to have to flip it, though. Baylor is a good team, so let's switch it up this time. And then Tennessee, I do think, could beat Providence. Or, let's go with an upset here. Let's get a little bit crazier. Let's actually go with Providence, a good 7 seed here, pulling off the win. Tennessee just kind of been an inconsistent team right now. So, let's have some fun in these bracketologies. I always say it's not the real March Madness. So if I see an upset opportunity, let's take it. Providence is a really good team. I'm going to go with them to beat Tennessee. All right, so let's go for a spot in the Elite Eight. Purdue against Xavier. I do think Purdue is the better team. And I'm going to send Nevada, a 10 seed, to the Elite Eight, beating Creighton here. I really do like Creighton. But let's get wild with it. Nevada's a really good 10 seed. They're playing really good in the Mountain West, beating a lot of good teams right now. Watch out for Nevada come tournament time. I really like this Wolfpack team. So I think that Nevada can beat 3 really hard teams to advance to the Elite Eight. Arizona, I do think will be able to beat St. Mary's there. And then I do think that Texas will have enough to beat their Big 12 rival in Kansas State. All right, so over here, Arizona against Indiana. Alabama against Indiana, sorry. Let's go with the 5-over-1 upset here. Indiana's playing really good basketball. I like this team a lot. Alabama, though, really good team, but I'm gonna have them get eliminated in the Sweet 16 for the second time. And then Virginia against Kansas. I'm gonna go with the 2-seeded Kansas in that game. All right, so down here, Houston against Miami. I am going to go with the Cougars to advance on, and Baylor against Providence. I think that the Baylor Bears will be able to end Providence run there. All right, so for a spot in the Final Four, we got a matchup between a 1 seed in Purdue and a 10 seed in Nevada. Unfortunately, I do think that Purdue is going to advance on there to the Final Four. And then Arizona against Texas. 2 good teams here. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Arizona, though. I think that they're just slightly the better team. And then Indiana against Kansas here. Let's send Indiana, the 5 seed, to the Final Four here. Indiana, really good team. Kansas, also a really good team, but they've been a little bit inconsistent right now. I think that Indiana can pull off the win. And then Houston against Baylor. I'm going to go with the 3-seeded Baylor to pull off the win to go to the Final Four. All right, so the Final Four is set here. We got 2 1 seeds in Purdue and Arizona, a 3 seed in Baylor, and a 5 seed in Indiana. So 40 spot in the national championship game. We got Purdue. We got Arizona. I like Arizona a lot as a team right now. I think that they could take down the number 1 team in Purdue and win that game. And then we got Indiana against Baylor, a 5 versus a 3 seed here. Tough matchup to predict here. But I'm going to go with the 5-seeded Indiana. Let's do it. Send a Big Ten Indiana squad into the national championship game. So we got Arizona. We got Indiana, a 1 seed versus a 5 seed. And I have my national championship back-to-back picks here. Arizona, I think, is the best team right now, and I think that they can win right now. Nothing really right now, Arizona is my top team, and I think that they deserve respect. So anyway, guys, that is my bracketology predictions. Comment down below your predictions. Arizona is your champion. So anyway, peace out.